Okay. YouTube crashed again. I want a cookie. Yep, it did. I think I got it going again. Now I can see exclusive essence. It is Cumulus Degrade. Hi, thank you so much. The stitch balm is for aromatherapy. I'm using this one. I just was showing these to people. I keep them right there. Okay, am I back on YouTube? Am I live? It says I'm live. Let me know if you see me on YouTube. It says 11 people are watching. Hi, Tara. Thank you for sharing the live. I need more aromatherapy and I need a cookie. Oh, there I am. Okay. Yay, I'm back. I know, so much for not having any technical issues tonight. Oh, well. Okay, great. Yep, I see where I'm back. I have some chewy Chips Ahoy. I still have some Oreos, but I've already had like 3 today. So I think I should maybe have like a real meal. I did have a turkey sandwich earlier. I'm basically running my desktop computer through my phone's cell service because my Wi-Fi went down. A breakfast burrito for dinner. Oh, that sounds yummy. Hi, Handcraft Love. Is my picture frozen for you all on TikTok? Okay. What happened in the Zoom room? Did it make somebody else the host when I got kicked out? Or do y'all need me to open the Zoom room back up? Sure. Usually when you get bumped out, you're still here. Deb is there. Okay, great, great. All right, awesome. I'll leave you all to play, and I won't worry about it. You can run the Zoom room however you want. You can talk about me. You can cheat on me. You can talk about me behind my back. Um, tell all your dirty jokes and swear. Although I'm usually guilty of starting all those things and doing all those things when I'm in there. So I don't know how me not being there is going to be any different, but y'all go right ahead. I have captions turned on. Well, I don't have it on right now because everything crashed, but I have captions turned on over there because I have myself muted and my video is off and my sound is off. And so I can't hear what's going on over there, but I have captions on so I can see the captions. And I just clicked over there to check on them during the last live, and I saw the caption said syringes full of pus, and I was like, all right, I'm out of here. I don't know what they're talking about, but I don't want to hear anymore. I've heard enough. I have heard enough. And we have a lot of fun in those meetings. I'm sure it was a very fun conversation, whatever it was about. Thank you for sharing the live. So who's making star blankets? How are your star blankets going? Who's going to do a superstar? Who's going to do a supernova? Spill it. What are we doing? Not in Zoom. I'm keeping it simple. I'm making a star poncho. That's nice. I think I'm going to do a superstar if I finish this star in time. We have till Thursday. I mean, I used to, Nordic Knot says, currently making a superstar to resemble a sunflower for my mom. That is something I should really write a blog article about, because I think the superstar is really the best blanket if you want to make a blanket that looks like a sunflower. I'm on my 4th repeat and it's for a toddler, so there's no hope. I don't know who the superstar will be for, but I have 6 Mandela cakes. All right. Great. The mother of dragons just followed the host. The mother of dragons is here, Khaleesi. The Khaleesi is among us. I don't have any dragons, but I have dragon eggs of yarn. All right. Finally made it around one round. Oh my gosh. Look at that. Okay, I'm going to try and restart my router. See if that fixes anything. Going back to the hotspot. Oh, woe is me. Oh, boo-hoo. Oops. I didn't get a cookie because I've already had 3 cookies today. And I can feel that's enough, but I got some cashews. And I have my Cherry Coke Zero. Excuse me. Ooh, there's a fly in here. Man, everything is so glitchy tonight. What is going on? I'm competing with the NFL. That explains it. That explains it. Okay. Woo! Andrea Garcia. This is the easiest pattern that I have. It's sincerely so easy. People people who don't even know how to crochet have made this blanket. All you have to know how to do is single crochet, double crochet, and chain. Pat says, I have 3 unfinished star blankets. The smallest one, I'm ripping it back to the setup row. I want to make the superstar. I had to take out 6 rows. Well, that's not too many. You want to do the superstar instead? I love the superstar. It is so fun. And, if you're using a yarn like a cake yarn, like this, like the one I'm using, like you don't even have to think, it just flies. It just flies, and it's so fun. I love the way they come out. Not only is this pattern super easy, but we have communities of people working on these blankets together. We have a month-long event going on right now. You have all the help and support that you could ever need to make this. And you could be this good, in 6 days. We got you. I should dig around and see if I have any unfinished blankets lurking in the shadows under the beds. Because I know at one point when I was doing the loveys with Courtney, and I was like, I was demonstrating like the different blankets on lives and stuff. I just like went through my little bucket of basically mandala. I used to design on mandala a lot. It's a good yarn to like design on. And I had like, I don't know, I had a stack of like 12 star blankets started. A whole bunch of them in a big stack. I was like, I could just take one of these and do something with it. Thank you for my new obsession. I just finished your superstar version. Now if it's a twin. Oh wow. That's great. I love making them. Oh man, I have a fly in here. I've been getting a lot of flies in the house because I have some of those carnivorous plants and they're really doing their job. I used all my leftover yarn and I bought a few, so thank you. That is incredible. I wish I had a fly swatter. I wish I had something that I could swat that fly with because it's right on the, it's right there. Oh God, we got a screamer. It's Sunday, so all the new tourists are here for the week. And in the afternoons on like Friday, Saturday, Sunday, when they arrive, you know, like on Saturday and Sunday, they arrive, they get here, they hang out for, you know, they can't get into their houses until like 4 or 5 o'clock. And then it's like they check in, they settle into their house, probably, you know, put their stuff away, bring all their stuff in from the car. Have a little snack or something. First thing they want to do is go down to the beach. So in the afternoon, on the weekend, you'll see people going by and they're really excited because they just got here and they're not like in bathing suits and stuff. They're just in their clothes from the car and they're all excited and they're going down to the beach. Okay, I've been easily swayed. I'll start another star blanket. These are so fun. They really are. Hi, CNY woman. Knits and crochets. What yarn are you using? I just joined the live. This is the label right here. It's called Juniper Moon Farms Cumulus Degrade. I believe that's how it's pronounced. I love how it graduates. There's the word. Graduates from one color to the other. It's very seamless. So you all can see it changed, right? It changed right there. Look how nice it does that. It just flows. There's no abrupt color change with this yarn whatsoever. Whatsoever. And so many people have asked me, did you control the colors? And there's no reason to control colors with this yarn. Absolutely none. It's 6-day crochet. It's not a stitch, it's a pattern. It's a 6-day star blanket. Kevin, absolutely beautiful, and I love your pattern. I've made 3 of them. Oh, that's so nice. Whoops. They do come out beautiful, and no two are alike. No two are alike, and nobody can make just one. Thanks for sharing the live. Uh-oh. Don't you dare. Come on, TikTok. Man, it was so nice today out at the beach. Guys, my mom let me get new yarn today. What should I make with it? A 6-day star blanket, of course. Come on. I'll smack you silly if you make anything else but come in my live while I'm making a 6-day star blanket. I use a Furls Odyssey crochet hook. It's my favorite hook. So I bought them when they were still making them. But I'm always on the lookout for my new favorite hook. Because to my knowledge, they are not making these anymore. And they keep saying they're going to make new ones. But they haven't yet. And it's been like a year. You're welcome. Oh, this fly is tormenting me. So around this point of the blanket, I'm starting to think about, because I think I did say that I might keep this one baby blanket size, because I'm thinking about the end consumer for this yarn and what they might want to make, with it. Or I'm just thinking about the person that goes into the yarn store and is like, oh, I want to, make something with this yarn. And it's pricey yarn. Okay. It's $25 a ball. It retails for $25 a ball. So I'm thinking I would maybe like to keep the blanket kind of small, like 3 or 4 balls, and just keep it baby blanket size. So if I were to do a baby blanket with 6-day crochet, you have to end on the single crochet, one of the single crochet rounds. Okay. So I'm on round 6 right now. So round 7 would be a single crochet round. So I'm either going to have to end on the next round, or I'm going to have to go around 3 more times and end on round 4. And I don't think I have enough to do that. So I think I'm going to be going into a 4th ball. But I think that is what I'm going to do. I have to measure though and make sure, but I think that's what I'm going to try and do. So let me see how many repeats I've done, because what does the pattern say? The pattern says 5 repeats for a baby blanket. So I've only done 3. This will only be my 3rd one. I usually make my baby blankets about 40 to 45 inches across. And then here's how you measure the star blanket. Okay, this question's come up a few times. Here's how you measure it. And I should have put this in the pattern. You measure from the center out to one of the points. So this one's 17. And then you double it, because it's not symmetrical. So you can't really measure from point to point. So that's how I do it. I go from the center out and I double that measurement. So if it's 17, and if I'm going to do 3 more rows, is going to add an 1.5 inches. It's probably getting close to baby blanket size. We'll see where I wind up with yarn. I made a star blanket and had no idea how to measure. Thanks. Yeah, I should have put it in the pattern. If I ever update the pattern again, I'll add that. Because I've had a lot of people asking me lately. Thanks for sharing the live. It's a 4 weight. It's a worsted. I finished my kid blanket and gave it as a gift last week. She loved it. Oh, that's really nice. I've been trying to convince my mother to make a star blanket. Oh, why is she having, why is it so hard to convince her? Why does she need to be convinced? I just feel like everybody wants to make a star blanket. Oh, what am I doing here? Okay. She has trouble following patterns and she fudges it. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. That could make a star blanket go sideways. But once you get it, you're good, you know? Once you get it, you're good. But yeah, you can't really, I'm not going to say you can't fudge this one, but you have to you have to know why you're fudging and figure it out so you don't end up just making the same mistake every time. Stitch Balm is an aromatherapy balm, and it has essential oils in it. You put it on your finger where you tension the yarn, and it makes your project smell nice. I've got a tiny sample at my LYS, and I love it. Well, if they gave you a sample, don't they have it for sale? Also, you can order directly from the site. It's Scented Stitches. I have an affiliate link in my bio. But if your LYS has a sample, don't they have the full product for sale? The company is like the company that makes it, Scented Stitches. Whenever I shop from her, she like throws in a bunch of extra stuff. Oh my gosh. So many little samples, and I'll say, I'll take 2 of them, and she'll throw in like 6. I haven't seen the full size for sale, but I can ask next time. Yeah, you go to the link in my bio and purchase it through my affiliate link. For my star blankets, I like to mark the corner stitches. Yep. That's a good practice. And then it makes it easier to count. I'm not a counter. I've only made one, but I plan to make more. How often do you need to reapply the balm? You probably need to reapply it more often than I do. But it comes with a little guide on it that tells you. And these last a really long time. Like I have done like a whole entire full-size blanket in one and not used the whole thing up. So I think I could probably reapply it a lot more than I do. I think my mom would benefit from a 5-weight yarn for a star blanket. I made a 3-weight. Okay. How are her hands? Because a 5-weight can be hard on the hands. From peak to valley, it measured about 60. I can't see the second number, but 60 something. Dang. 62 inches. That's 5 feet. Wow. Y'all like to make them big for your beds. They do look really pretty too. With a 3-weight, it was a journey. I'll bet. That's great. There's a poll on the TikTok live that you can vote on that gives you all the details. It's not, you don't really have to vote, but when you pull it up, it instead of putting things you can vote on, I just added all the details for everything, all the frequently asked questions. My last few rounds were 770 plus stitches. It was rough. Plan on making my own, only bigger. Oh my gosh. Did you really count all those stitches? I mean, holy moly. People have been nagging me about the stitch counts in my patterns for years, and I'm like, are you really going to count 800 stitches? I don't think you are. You did math. Okay. That makes more sense. Because I can't imagine. But some people do, and I know this to be true. It's just not how I enjoy my crochet, but some people find counting the stitches really soothing. Yeah, I don't really enjoy it. And then for a while, I didn't put all the stitch counts that people were asking for in the pattern because they would just fudge, say, I need a stitch count. And then they would fudge their counts to match the stitch count. And then they would get mad at me that, their stitch count wasn't working. And it's like, well, stitch count isn't, I think when we're first taught to crochet, we're taught to count the stitches, at the end of every row. And that's how you make sure you're doing it right. But, just fixing the stitch count isn't going to fix a problem or a mistake that you might be making. Unfortunately, the star blanket does not lend itself well to adaptations and adjustments. Okay. It's just a fact. Hello, I started my first star blanket last night using Karen spice cakes. Oh, wow. Just finished the setup rounds. It's so pretty already. Never used a 10 millimeter hook before, so it's been a learning experience. Wow, that's fun. No, that's not how any of this works. Age-old question, but do you prefer inline or tapered hooks? I prefer tapered. And somebody asked me before what hook I'm using. I'm using a Furls Odyssey crochet hook. And I don't know how to start that poll, but there is a poll on this live that you can start. And when you click it, it tells you the yarn, the hook, all the with the pattern, where to find everything, da-da-da-da-da. So I don't know if somebody can figure out how to start that poll, then y'all can click that and get some of your questions answered when I'm talking. But the inline or tapered, I mean, I just think, yeah, it was, it's called Scented Stitches, and I have a link in my bio for it. No problem. It's no problem. I talk a lot. So I miss questions sometimes. So everybody always wants to know what yarn and hook you're using. What was I saying? I forget. Oh, inline or tapered hooks. I think your choice of crochet hook is going to depend on, many things. And the most important thing is it comfortable in your hand? Can you relax your hand while you're holding it? Or do you have to have a death grip? You asked how my mom's hands were better shaped than mine. Oh, man. Yeah, an inline or tapered, like I have heard that, like if you have a yarn that's, people complain about yarn that's splitty. Oh, the yarn's splitting too much. And then there are people that will say there's no such thing as splitty yarn. You're just using the wrong type of hook with it. So if you're having an issue with yarn splitting, you're supposed to switch to an inline hook. But I don't really know if that's true or not. But if you are experiencing difficulty with the yarn, and it's just not working out the way you want, you could try a different type of hook. But I have noticed that a lot of people seem to have a certain preference. I really like the tapered hook. I find I can flow faster with tapered, but I drop stitches more often. Well, that could, you might change your hook size too. You might need to go up. By the way, Furls doesn't make the Odyssey anymore, but the other new all metal ones are heavy. But I love them. Yes, I like the weight of the Odyssey, and I have tried the metal streamlines. They I don't think they are a substitution for the Odyssey for me personally, but I can crochet with them. I like them. They're okay. All my patterns are on my website, bettymcknit.com. I have loose tension, so I usually go down a hook size, but I'll try larger and see how that goes. Yeah, if you're dropping stitches a lot, your hook might be too small. You know, or you could try the streamline in the same size, like you said, or an inline hook in the same size. I feel like I drop stitches off of the inline more than the tapered. But any new hook that you try takes a little getting used to. Yeah, it's not wax. It's an aromatherapy balm, and it has essential oils in it. You put it on your finger where you tension the yarn. I still have some there, and it puts aroma. It puts the oils, the essential oils, into the yarn. It's aromatherapy, basically. Now, some people have also found that it keeps them from getting that tension burn. But honestly, guys, newbies, you shouldn't be holding your yarn, should not be that tight around your finger that it's giving you a mark like that. If it is, you need to learn how to soften your hands and loosen up your hands. It's been a while since I started a project. When do you usually go live so I can crochet along? Usually I go at 7 p.m. and it's not every night, but I have right now I'm doing Star Blanket September. Like those girls are doing Stash Bust September. And the Star Blanket is an amazing project for stash busting. So I always do Star Blanket September along with Stash Bust September. So that people can, you know, start cranking on their stashes and their scraps and stuff. And they're all my lives for the month are scheduled. So you can now, yesterday or the other day, when I was live, somebody said they weren't notified. But all my lives for the month are scheduled out in TikTok and YouTube. So you can go to either of those places and you can sign up to be notified. And you can also sign up for this event, Star Blanket September. I have a link in my bio, and you'll get emails from me, and they'll, you know, they have the schedule in them and talk about what I'm doing. They have little freebies and stuff for the different blankets. I did a freebie. I did a 6-day star crown, which was a little hat made from the 6-day star setup rounds. And so you'll get that pattern for free. And then another freebie that I had when you sign up for Star Blanket September is a little cheat card, a little tracker card. So you can track your stitches and you can track your days for your blanket. And it's just a little card that gives you the stitch counts for 10 repeats of the 6-day star blanket. I mean, I give them to you in the pattern, but they're on a little card, so you can just cross them off. I moved on to round 2 now, and the yarn is changing colors again. Now it's yellow, such a pretty yellow too. I think I'm off by 1. Hello. Okay, so every time you do round 2, you're going to have 2 more clusters than you had the last time. So let me see, because my counts are off. So let me see if I can figure out what I did. I only did 4 double crochet right there instead of 5. Okay, I do that all the time because I talk while I'm working with you guys. Okay, so I need to put an extra stitch in somewhere, or skip one less. So that's where I'm saying, like, self-correcting. Know why you're self-correcting. Don't just add another one because you're one short. Go back and check and figure out where you missed one, and then put an extra one in that same area. Okay, don't just fix it and be like, oops, oh well. That's what I call intelligent fudging. All right. But another thing to do would be to check and see. So here I had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And so I should have 8 up here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All right. So that's something to check too, because each time you go up, it goes up by 2. Right. Let's see. Yeah. So there's 4 on this round 2. And then there's 6, and then there's 8, and I'm just counting the ones between the DC3 together in the valley and the 333 in the peak. Okay, it goes up by 2 every time. Yeah, if you're gonna fudge, you should always fudge intelligently. Don't just fix it and move on, not knowing what you did. I mean, every once in a while I'll be like, well, you missed a stitch somewhere, just throw another one in. You're fine if you're this far along on the blanket. But if you're back here, back at the beginning, and you don't know what you're doing and you don't understand the pattern, don't just self-correct it. My problem is I can't count to 3 on the granny stitches, or I put 1 too many. Well, that will throw your counts off. So I'm going to make my fudge right here, and I'm just going to skip 1. Okay. I don't like to do it right at the peak or right at the valley, because I feel like it's more obvious. So I'm going to do it in the middle, and I feel like no one's going to notice it down there in the halfway down. I missed a single crochet once, then the next round. Okay, yeah, I read that one already. Yeah, I'm not opposed to fudging. It's just like, know what you're fudging. Know why you're doing it. Don't just, do it and move on. And then, 4 rounds later, you're like, why is my blanket ruffling? Well, because you don't really understand the pattern, and you've just been correcting your stitch counts, thinking that was the way to do it. Yeah. And I definitely take it out sometimes. I don't remember what happened, but a couple weeks ago on a live video, I started completely over because I was 1 stitch off. And I was like, I can't, I just can't. I can't do it. If y'all ever watch my oldest videos on my channel, the 6-day kid blanket, swatch videos they were like my very first videos. And my grandmother taught me to start counting with this slip knot on the hook. And that was one, and that is not correct. And I learned that the hard way when I posted that video on the internet, and people were like, "What are you doing? That's not right." And I was like, "What?" But because I learned that way and I did it like that for 40 years, I still have trouble with my chain. When I start something and I chain and I count it out, and I'm always, a lot of the time, I'm one short. This is so pretty. I love yellow. It's such a happy color. Have y'all seen the guy on the internet that's like, I do impressions, but I don't do impressions of people. I do impressions of colors. And then so they say, do this color, and he's like yellow, and it's like he's like smiling. And then orange, and he's like, it's kind of like a goofy smile. And then black is like, white is like this blank stare. It's pretty hilarious. I like the little squeaky sound of this yarn on my hook. Little crochet ASMR. I know, it's so great, isn't it? Now I put 5 single crochet in the peak on this round, so I guess it's going to balance out. Oh my gosh. So I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to do the 3 3 3, and I'm going to put 3 in one stitch, and I'm going to put 3 in the next. And that's going to fix it. What does the cheer smell like? Is the lavender strong? It smells more like geranium. It's very floral. I don't think cheer has lavender in it. Doesn't it? Has rose. It's very rosy. Rose geranium. It's very rosy. Lemongrass, rose absolute. Yeah, it's very floral. It's the calm lavender, bergamot, sweet orange, and patchouli. It smells like it's not very lavender. It's not lavender heavy, and it's also not patchouli heavy. It's nice. My favorite is this one. I think these two are my favorite. I really like this one now. Yeah, the cheer is very nice. It's very floral, very rosy. You're going to buy both. Nice. You'll enjoy it. Just don't let them get too hot. Not a lavender fan. I get that. I love watching your previous lives while I crochet. This is my first time. Aw, nice. Welcome. Thank you for watching. I appreciate it. Been trying to follow your lives, but I'm still on round 2 after the first lead up rounds. I have to take care of my mom. Aw. It's okay. There's no rush. Is the 6-day star blanket on your channel links? I don't think so, actually. That's a really good idea. I should put it there. You mean my YouTube channel? It's when you go to my YouTube page, it's the first one that comes up. It's the first video. It's on the front page. If you really want to follow along with what I'm doing this month, you should sign up for Star Blanket September and get the emails. Alyssa says, I started making this blanket today with your videos. Great. I look forward to following along. To make 10 plus blankets, so I'm looking for new blanket patterns to make. Oh my goodness. Look no further, because you can do the 6-day blanket, star blanket, granny blanket, great granddaddy blanket, and they'll all be different, but they all work up so quickly. Do you think this could be interpreted as a spider web? I think somebody did it like a spider web in my group with like some surface crochet. So if you're on Facebook, you can join the Facebook group for this. I have a group specifically for this pattern, and I've had it for like 5 years, and it's got like 25,000 people in it. And literally thousands of blankets have been made, and people post them there. So you can go to the group and search the group and just search like spider web. Wanting to make, so I would say I would do the single crochet rounds in like, well, how would you do it? I guess you would do like black and white or gray. Or if it's Spider-Man, somebody I think did a Spider-Man themed one. And then they did you could do the single crochet rounds like in black would be the spider web. And then you could do some surface crochet, like going up the valleys and the points. Yeah, somebody did. I'm pretty sure someone did a Spider-Man themed one. So yeah, you could do it in blue and red and just do the whole thing like in blue and then do red for the single crochet rounds. And then just do a round of surface crochet. Thank you very much, Wanda. Appreciate it. Yeah, join my Facebook group. It's called 6-Day Crochet Community. I also have a paid membership community called the Betty McKnitiverse. You can join there and just come on the Zooms with me, and we could just talk one-on-one, or like, in the groups. My group Zooms. I have my people are in a Zoom together right now. It's bettymcknitiverse.com. You join, it's like a monthly subscription, or you can do it annually and pay all at once for a full year, and then you get all my patterns. I do like I have my whole pattern library and like a timed course for you, so every month you get 3 patterns, and then when I release something new, I usually just give those as bonus content. It's bettymcknitiverse.com. bettymcknitiverse.com. And I Zoom every week in there, and then I do like classes and crochet alongs. I have a group in there called the Design Workshop, and that's where we are, like those people have already done the 6-Day Star Poncho that I haven't even released yet. Like they've done a bunch of them. I haven't even released it yet. They've done the poncho. They're doing the next stuff. They're doing the stuff I haven't even talked about yet. I go in there and I I call them my advisory council. Thanks for following. Lolly says your 6-Day Star Blanket was my first project back in May. That is so great. I'm so happy for you. Have you made any more since? You ready to make another one? Are you ready to try the Superstar? We're going to do the Superstar next. Excited to start Christmas blankets. So that's wonderful. Well, I have a month-long event happening right now called Star Blanket September. So that's what I'm doing here. It's not a stitch, it's a pattern. It's the 6-day star blanket. For the single crochet row on the star blanket, am I supposed to decrease? What does the pattern say? The pattern is free on my website. And there's an ad-free PDF for sale. So my website has ads. That's how I get paid for doing free patterns, giving free patterns to you. I get paid by the advertisers. So it's for free on my site. It's 6daystarblanket.com, bettymcknit.com. And then on the page, you can purchase an ad-free PDF. The PDF is the same as the free version. I don't do this, only giving part of it to you on the internet. Here's the yarn right here. It's also on YouTube. Yes, I have a video tutorial on YouTube that will guide you through the blanket. The best place to start is the website and get the pattern. And don't try to just do the blanket without the pattern and just do it from the video. Okay, get the pattern too. Learn how to read a pattern. I love your ring. Thank you. I just finished mine for my mom's birthday. That's so nice. Well, that's good. That's good. But some people try to just do it without reading the pattern. A lot of people, actually. A lot of people convince themselves they can't read patterns, and so they don't look at the pattern. And then they ask me, they ask me every little question. It's like, that is also in the pattern. The video doesn't tell you everything because people don't want to sit there and listen to you say, use this much yardage for a baby blanket and this much yardage for an adult blanket and this much yardage for this and that and that. They just want the boom, get started, show me. It's very like, the culture of YouTube is very like, just get there quick, But the pattern gives a lot more details. Yes, you have to, I think I don't understand. Of course, I'm older, so we didn't have YouTube until, like what, 15 years ago. And so you had to follow a pattern. You didn't, and if you didn't understand it, you had to have somebody help you figure it out. Unfortunately, I don't read other people's patterns that much anymore. I'm just on my own, doing my own thing. I'm very self-absorbed. I'm very self-centered. You probably could tell. Does the poncho have a turtleneck? I did not put a turtleneck on it. No. You're ancient. And we're both Betty. Well, my real name is Beth, but I go by Betty McKnit online. People wanted the turtleneck to have a hood. Or the turtleneck, the poncho. So it has an open neckline with a rib with ribbing, and it has a hood. Like all of my patterns, it's very easily adaptable. So you can always put a turtleneck on it if you want. You're sewing together granny squares at the moment. That sounds fun. Hello. Thanks for the follow. I'm coming up to the end of my third skein of this. And I think I'm going to, I think this is going to be a baby blanket. Oh, 19 inches. I just started a hooded cloak because Lord of the Rings is a whole personality. I love that for you. That's great. That's really great. Good for you. Almost done with this skein here. This will be my third one. All right. It's dragging around the little piece of paper. Driving me crazy. I just finished a 6-day star blanket about a week ago. It took me forever because I decided to make it in a 2-weight yarn. Turned out really nice though. Yep. That sounds gorgeous. What 2-weight yarn did you use? Oh, that fly. Wool acrylic blend by Lana Lux. All right. I bet that's nice. I really want to get that fly. Ever notice how when you're like playing yarn chicken, I'm not playing yarn chicken right now, I'm just at the end of the skein, but it just kind of feels that way. Like I'm at the end of the skein, so it's like I have to crochet faster so I don't run out of yarn. I mean, I'm not going to run out. I have more. Becca says, I just started my own 6-day star blanket using your YouTube videos. Thank you for the helpful videos. That's great. Make sure you're following the pattern too. Don't just rely on the video because there's a lot in that video that I didn't say. I just kept it real bare bones. When I start talking a lot, people get upset. So I just kept it, straightforward. But there's a lot of information in the pattern. Okay, so make sure you follow the pattern. Dun, 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 dun. I just finished a skein. I got about another half of a repeat to go, and then I think I'm going to do that and maybe one more single crochet round. I'm opening this one. I'm taking the label off because I'm doing this one from the outside. Okay, so it starts with the darkest color in the middle, and then it goes to the peachy, light peach, airy peach color. I don't know what you would call that, but it's gorge. And then so because I'm ending on that, I'm starting the next one on that. Whoops. Yep, this is my fourth one. The label's right here. It's been sitting here the whole time. 2 of them. Yeah, I've had this one here the whole time. Oh, I almost got that fly. I'm trying to get a fly. Juniper Moon Farm is the name of the company, the yarn company, and you have to get it through a retailer. That's okay. No problem. I really want that fly to come back. Now it sees me with something I'm flapping around. It's avoiding me. All right, I'm starting to yawn. Okay. This I saw a I saw an I saw a reel, an Instagram reel about this today where somebody is showing how to change colors on yarn by finishing this. It was just not how I do it. I'll just leave it at that. Here's how I do it. Okay. I'm about to change colors. All right. So I don't finish the last stitch. Leave the last 2 loops on your hook and then pick up the new color and pull the new color through the last 2 loops of the last stitch of the old color. These are the same color. I'm changing balls of yarn, right? But this works. At the end of a row, it works anywhere. If I need to change colors mid-row, I like to try and do it like in between. Like this is 3 little cluster of 3 stitches. I like to do it on the middle one. Okay, so I prefer to do this mid-row, but you can also do this on the end of a row. Okay, so this is my working yarn that's coming off of the ball of yarn that I'm going to start working with next. That's this one. These are the 2 tails. Okay, so I'm going to take those 2 tails and I'm going to flip them up over the working yarn and hold them to the back. Okay, I'm holding them to the back. And then I make my next stitch. Okay, and now these 2 threads, my tails, are secured to the back of my work. They're not going anywhere. And then I just leave them there until I complete the project. And then I'll go back and I'll weave them in. You don't have to tie a knot. You don't have to do any of this where you finish the stitch and then you put your hook back in and then you pull a new one through and then you pull this out. Why do you need to do that? Just pull your new yarn through the last 2 loops on your hook when you're changing colors. It's not that serious. Okay, and then I don't really see anyone else doing that. I don't know when I started doing that, but that's how I do it. I don't see anyone else doing that. So maybe I made it up. I don't know. I'm sure I didn't. I'm sure somebody told me to do that, or I saw somebody doing that somewhere. But that's how I treat. If I have a knot in my work, that's how I treat it. I treat it like a new join. Like if the yarn has a knot in it, a factory knot, then that's how I do it. I just treat it like a new join. And I, I work over it and then I go back and weave it, cut out the knot and weave in those ends. Feel like I have tried and it eventually unweaves itself. I'm sure I'm not weaving it in right. I have the original 6-day kid blanket, and I has been through 3 kids, been washed and dried in the dryer, which I don't even recommend. Washing machine and dryer. It's been puked on. It's been pooped on. It's been well loved. None of my ends have come out. And I even put tassels. Not even my tassels came out. When you weave in your yarns, you have to weave in at least 3 to 4 inches of yarn. And then you have to go back and forth. You have to weave it in. You have to make the yarn change directions at least once, if not twice. If you only go one way or you just work over stitches and then you snip it, when this fabric stretches, then those little tails are going to come back out. Yeah, I always I do that to secure it while I'm working, and this has never come undone. It doesn't even leave like a little gap. I used to tie like a square knot and then untie the square knot, but I don't even do that anymore. I just flip it up over the working yarn and it just stays there. And then I weave it in. I weave each end in separately and I go like up into the stitch, and then in the single crochet row, I'll go across under the stitches, and then I'll come back through one of these stitches, and they never come out. In fact, I've had to take out stuff that I've woven in, and it's been a big pain in the butt. That's why I don't weave in my ends as I go, because once I weave something in, it is not coming back out, not easily anyways. So people talk about magic knot and magic ring, and I feel like people put the word magic in front of stuff just to make it sound like it's so much better. But honestly, I don't think those techniques, I think they're widely overused, over promoted, over taught. And new crocheters, this is something that you do. You learn about a new technique, and you replace it, you use it as a replacement for all the other techniques that you've learned. Like, you hear about foundation single crochet and you're like, why didn't anybody tell me about this? Like, I'm never chaining again. Well, hold on a minute. Hold up. Foundation single crochet is not right for everything. Magic ring. Why didn't anyone tell me about this? I'm never chaining and joining in a loop again. And I see people starting their 6-day blankets with a magic ring, even though it says magic ring not recommended. That technique is not appropriate for the center of a granny square or the center of a blanket or as a foundation for anything that's going to be worn as a garment. That will come out. That is not secure. And the hole does not have to be closed all the way. Look at this blanket. It has a hole here. It has a hole here. It has a hole here. It has a hole. It has a hole. It has all these holes. Why does this hole in the center need to be closed tight all the way? It doesn't. That is for when you're doing a single crochet in the round project like amigurumi. That technique is perfect for amigurumi. It started to be widely used when amigurumi became popular, and then all of a sudden everybody's using it for everything. But it doesn't belong in the middle of your granny square. It's not a good start for your blanket or your hexagon cardigan. You're putting a hexagon, putting a magic ring, start insecure technique on your armpit where it's going to get all that abrasion and all that rubbing and all that motion. That's coming out. That is coming out. That technique is not meant for that. So just because something is easier or we like it better or it seems like easier and handier does not mean it's the right technique for everything. That's something y'all beginner crocheters do. And there's all these little videos and reels and people teaching other people how to crochet that haven't been crocheting for very long. And that's all well and good, but I'm going to tell you as an OG, not every technique is appropriate for every application. In addition to crocheting, I also knit, and there was a time when I did nothing but knit, and I didn't crochet very much at all, unless I wanted to whip up a blanket for somebody's baby. But in knitting, you have all different types of ways to cast a project on and to cast it off. And each different cast on has a different purpose. It has a different application. Some of them are more stretchy. Some of them are more sturdy. Some of them are good for the edge of a sock. Some of them are good for the edge of a hat. Some of them are good for the bottom of a sweater or the bottom of a blanket where you don't want it to stretch. And so when you cast on a knitting project, there's a specific way to cast it on. Often. And that cast on, it suits the purpose of the project that you're about to do. So we don't really have that in crochet. We have chain, make a chain, foundation chain, and then single crochet, into the chain. And then people find out about foundation single crochet, where you can make the chain and you can make the single crochet without having to work into that start, foundation chain, which is a pain in the butt to do. But the problem is it's stretchy. It's not sturdy like the chain. So as you learn more and more about crochet, don't just follow every new tip and trick that you come across. Try it out, see how it behaves, see if it's appropriate for the bottom of your blanket. Don't just do it because it's the way you like to do it, or it's easier, it's faster, it's more convenient. That's not necessarily going to give you the best result every time. The results are what matter. Weaving in your ends, it really is the only way to truly secure your work. Tying knots is not secure. And then people say put a little dab of glue on it. Come on. Do you really want a knot with a dab of glue on it in your work, in your baby blanket? I would do that if it was something that came apart and I had to repair it, and there wasn't enough yarn to make the repair, or I had to cut it really close and I had to tie a knot to keep it from, in order to repair it. So that's when I say I would only do that if it was an emergency. That's what I'm talking about. That's the only way it's going to hold together, and I didn't leave myself enough yarn to weave in an end or something like that. Then I would tie a knot. What is, I already made a huge blanket with knots. Well, don't do that again. I understand why people want to tie knots, and people want to make those like scrap balls where they wind their. I don't do it. Don't do a scrap ball all tied up with knots. Just separate all wind all your scraps into balls and separate them out where you can see them all, and just use them as you come across them. Because what if there's a lot of what ifs. What if you don't like one of them? What if it makes an ugly transition when from one color to the next? What if you don't like it? What if the weights aren't really exactly right for your project? I don't see the purpose of taking the time to tie all the scraps together before you start. Weaving in the ends is the best way. It really is. And people say I've never had one come undone, but I've never met a crocheter in my life that kept everything they made. Most of us give away or sell everything we make and don't ever even make anything for ourselves. I've met a lot of crocheters who have never made anything for themselves. That's bananas. So people who say, I've never had one come undone, I don't think you really know that that's true. If somebody gave me a blanket and it had a knot in it and the knot came undone, I would be really like, I would not want to tell them. I wouldn't want their feelings to be hurt. If I went back to them and said, hey, your blanket you gave me had a knot, the knot, it came undone and it came unraveled, I would be worried that they would think, oh, you didn't take good care of it, or you didn't value it or treasure it, or like something like that. Like those would be my thoughts that would go through my mind. I would be worried that I would hurt their feelings. So I don't think everybody knows where all their magic knots ended up and whether they came undone or not. So don't do that again. Don't tie any more knots. Okay, the lecture's over. Yeah, I did get a lot. This is just the 4th day, too. Starting to wind down. Starting to feel tired. Probably a lot of people left because I was lecturing about knots, not tying knots, and not doing foundation single crochet until you try it and make sure you really like it. Make sure it's appropriate for your blanket or your project or whatever you're doing. Well, listen to your crochet mama. That's why they call me the crochet. That's why I call myself your crochet mama. There is no they. Nobody has called me that. I call myself that because I lecture. I get on soapboxes and I lecture. And I'm like, now you kids. Like, I've literally been on TikTok and heard people say, like, I've been crocheting for 4 hours. Would you like me to do a tutorial? No. No, I don't want you to do a tutorial. You're 4 hours in. Let me know if you want me to do a tutorial. You kids you can't do tutorials about everything. You know, you can't do tutorials about other people's patterns. You can't. That's like stealing the pattern basically and publishing it as your own. It's just making a tutorial video is basically publishing the pattern in a different way. It might legally be okay to do, but ethically it is not okay. I don't think a lot of people realize that. Or they say, well, it was a free pattern, but that doesn't, no, wait a minute. Having it be free and available for free does not exempt it from copyright. there's stitches in there that my grandmother made. Well, that's true. However, a pattern is a unique combination of stitches. And a set of instructions. So it's not just the stitches. It is the set of the instructions and the words and the photos that go with it. So just because your grandmother made a star blanket, first of all, I guarantee she didn't make this star blanket because I came up with this all on my own. What's Star Blanket September? Star Blanket September is a month-long create-a-thon, and I'm riffing off of Stash Bust September because the 6-day Star Blanket is a great stash busting project. And so I am doing on live videos, I'm doing a star, a superstar, and a supernova blanket this month. It's like a month-long create-a-thon. And I have like an email list that you can join, and I've been sending people little freebies, and the first freebie I sent out was the star hat, the crown, 6-day star crown. So if you sign up, you're going to get, as soon as you sign up, it's going to have a download link for that. And let's see. And then the next freebie I already sent to the email list was a little star blanket stitch tracker and day tracker. It has it's just a little printout where you can track your stitch counts for up to 10. I give you numbers for 10 repeats. And then on the back of it, it has a little day tracker, so you can track how many days, all the work that you do each day, and try and finish in 6 days. I'm talking about the stitches, but this lady on YouTube is accusing somebody of stealing. Well, I mean, I think that I don't know anything about that situation that you're referring to, but I will just say what happens to me. What happens to me, I have viral patterns, okay? And they're free. I offer them for free on my blog. And people make them and they say 6-day star blanket, and they think it's a star blanket that you can make in 6 days. Any star blanket that you can make in 6 days, but it's not. It's a specific pattern. So because it's for free, then people think, well, I'll make a tutorial for it. And then they go on YouTube and they record a tutorial. So then people start going to their YouTube tutorial and not my YouTube tutorial. And then now they don't even have to go to my website to get the pattern from me. So when people go to my website and download that pattern for free, I get paid by the advertisers. It's web traffic. And that is my livelihood. This is my livelihood. This is my only job and the only way I make money. So it's straight up stealing. It is straight up stealing. And there's more than one video on the internet on YouTube of somebody making my pattern verbatim, showing people how to do it, and tagging the video 6-day whatever, and they don't think they're doing anything wrong, even though I've tried to get it taken down by YouTube. YouTube won't take it down. They won't take it down. They will only take down, like copyright, like music or whatever. I think there's there are a lot of accusations of stealing that happen in the crochet community all the time. And I think a lot of them are actually true. And I think that somebody sees somebody else do something and they freehand, they think because they can look at it and they understand what that person did or how that person did something. They're basically taking that idea and they're redoing it on their own. Are they stealing a pattern? No, but they're taking somebody else's idea and they're redoing it. Is it wrong? Probably legally, no. But is it okay? No. Get your own idea. The best thing to do is always your own idea. Pursue your own original idea. Stitches are like musical notes. You've arranged them in a special arrangement that's unique. Yes, that's true. He was sued over a melody. Okay. Huh. I don't know anything about that, but it happens in music all the time. Because now you have this thing, sampling or whatever. Yeah, it happens. I try not to worry about it too much, but I did register copyrights so that, if it does happen. Wait a minute, I'm not done. Why did I think I was done? I'm not. I thought I was done with this round. I think I'm just really tired, but I do want to finish this round and then I'll go. I think this topic got me. Yeah, I was just going to say, I think this topic got me a little worked up. But it's okay. At the end of the day, this is a really great pattern. And that's why people want to do, people want to do it. People want to make it. It's a great pattern. I'm really proud of it. He was sued by Martin Gaye's family over a song that had the same chords. Oh. Well, those things are really complicated. Thank you very much. I mean, within the crochet world, honestly, I think a lot of people don't really understand, like, for instance, how free patterns work, that the designer gets paid. People will come and they'll say, oh, your website has too many ads on it. Well, that's how I'm able to be paid and provide the pattern for people who don't want to pay for it. There are some people that don't like paying for patterns. They just don't want to. They think crochet patterns should be free. So for those people, I am happy to provide them a free pattern because I get paid by the advertisers on my website. But then there are going to be people who don't want to look at all those ads. They don't want to scroll the ads. They don't know how to take a screenshot or whatever, however it is that, people that don't want to pay for a pattern are dealing with the ads and they don't care. And then there are some people that are like, I'd rather just pay $6, and have it on my iPad or my Kindle, I plan on making one of these definitely next year, if not before this year. Thank you so much. Yeah, join us for Star Blanket September. They want to make money on it. Yeah. What is the product that you're using on your finger? Does it help with yarn burn? Yes, it is. That's not the purpose of it. The purpose of it is aromatherapy, but it does alleviate yarn burn. And then I guess she made this unscented one for people who just don't want the aroma but want the balm for yarn burn. But if you're getting yarn burn, you need to loosen up your tension and loosen up your hands. I would love to pay crochet artists for their patterns, but I'm a stay-at-home mom. Well, I mean, you don't have to. It's free on my site, and like I said, I don't mind offering it for free. You're not taking anything from me because I get paid by the advertisers. I get paid from the ads, so that's why I have ads. I know it's cheesy and spammy and ugly, but there are some people that don't want to pay. They want the crochet pattern for free, and I'm happy to be able to provide it for free because I can get paid to do it. I'm not doing it out of the goodness of my heart. I mean, that sentiment is there, but I also get paid. And that but the thing about that is people talk about free patterns. They say things like, "Oh, I could see if it was a free pattern," as if free patterns are a lower quality or some kind of different quality than a paid pattern. So, um, I just disagree with that. Free patterns are have the potential to make just as much, if not more, money than a paid pattern. Okay. So I think the quality should be my free patterns, same quality as a paid pattern, pattern, same pattern. You don't get more if you pay for it. Everybody gets the same. My husband already dislikes buying my yarn. What? Yarn is super useful. Maybe he'll like it more. Well, I think what happens sometimes is that we overbuy the yarn and it starts to take over and it starts to seem like hoarding to outside, someone on the outside. So I would just say, be mindful, not more mindful. I don't know how mindful you are or are not, but just be very mindful of how you're buying yarn. Just buy what you need. People pay for patterns to make clothes. So why wouldn't you think they need to pay for your patterns? Well, I have patterns for clothes too. I make the pattern available for free and for sale. So if someone wants to pay for it and get the clean copy without the ad, the PDF copy, they can pay for it. If someone doesn't want to pay for it, they can get it for free off my site, but they're going to have to look at the ads and scroll the page for the ads because that is how I get paid. So I get paid either way. Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I don't know the answer. I feel like the crochet community can be, kind of cheap in that way. There are people that will say, I will never pay for a pattern, never paying for a crochet pattern. And even, people will, like I have ads, I have Facebook ads running right now for my the paid version of my free patterns. And then there are people commenting on the ads, which, are trying to direct people to buy the pattern from my store. And then there are people saying, there are a lot of star blankets available for free. Like it's $6, like, but that is part of the culture of the crochet community is we want patterns for free. We want free patterns. We want them to be high quality, tech edited and thoroughly tested and error free. Now I'm done. He's an outdoors guy. He doesn't understand, but he knows it brings me joy, so he tries. Well, if he's an outdoors guy, then just make him some scarves and hats. Make him a nice hat. Make him a nice manly beanie and like a nice warm cowl to wear around his neck. Make it smell nice. Make it smell like you. Wear it around so it smells like you. Put your perfume on it. Put your stink on it. Put your sweat on it. Yes, it's a gradient yarn. It's called Cumulus Degrade. It's from Juniper Moon Farm, and the name of this color is Senna Sandcastle. There you go. There you go. It is so pretty, isn't it? Whoops. It's too big for my table now. But here's how I measure them. I go from the center. I really wish I had put this in the pattern. To one edge. So it's about 21. So, and then I double it. So 42. So to me, it is about baby blanket size. How long do these blankets usually take you? 6 days. That's called the 6-day star blanket because that's how long it takes. This one, I have done this whole thing on live videos, and this is my 4th live. So this one has been 4 days. All right, my friends. I'm going to call it a night. Thank you all for hanging out with me. It's been real, and I will see you on Thursday. Have a great week. Have a wonderful week. What border do you think you'll do? I don't know. I was just thinking about that, actually. What border do you think I should do? Should I do a little shell or a little picot? Should I do something original for this particular yarn? Hi, Betty, or some. Oh, you guys are so nice. Thank you for hyping me up. Showing up and always something original. I should do something original. All right, I'll think about it. Something Sandcastle, because the yarn is called Sandcastle. So I'll think of something. I'll think on it. I'll let it marinate. I'll marinate on it. All right, friends. Oh, my little heart isn't going to be on my, because I did it over to the side. Oh, well, it is what it is. I don't think anybody watches those, what do you call, those sped up videos to the end anyways, except me. All right, my friends. Good night. Thank you so much for hanging out. Bye, TikTok. How do I end it? There we go. It's hard to see. All right. Bye. Good night, everyone. Take care. Bye now. I'm just going to keep saying bye until I figure out how to make it stop. Disable camera and this. No, here it is over here.